Giving all praise, glory, and honor be to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakahakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, better known as GMS, who were well. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect, the tabernacle of David, starting with the 144,000 and the rest of the men, women, and children out of the 12 tribes, whom Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai will have mercy upon. I'm your brother Montezaba from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Melbourne, Australia. And I wanted to go into a particular topic dealing with ESAU'S AI technology, which me and the beloved brother Yashar here did a live about a day or so ago. And at the 39-minute mark, all right, he touched on a particular precept in the book of Psalms that I thought was very heavy in the spirit, due to the fact that the beloved elder Yashawamba brought out about a week ago in his lesson dealing with ESAU'S inevitable end, all right, his rulership coming to an end. So now, without further ado, I want to just jump straight in because I want to make a quick point, get a few precepts, all right, and then, Lord's will, we can close out. His heart is being hardened.
Yeah.
As I just want to quickly touch on something because you read verse 17.
Yeah.
Can you read that one more time?
I will, for sure. Psalms chapter 73, verse 17. Until I went into the sanctuary of the Most High, Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, then understood I their ends.
Now, notice what the brother just read. Then understood I their end. Now, what's funny, to show you how the spirit works and to show you how Yahweh Shem Yahushua is a great sense of humor. That same video that Elder Yashawamba showcased dealing with the looking glass, the actual the guy, he said this. Once he read the message that it kept spitting out to them, he said, then he understood it was not the end of the world, but he understood it was the end of their world.
Their end, yep. That's right.
Their end. That's what he said in the interview. All right, so yeah, basically in the video, which we're going to go to the video now, and this is the gentleman that I was referring to. This was the same video that Elder Yashawamba showcased. Now, me, myself, I done a lesson on this 3 years ago. All right. And then, it's beautiful how the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shah is, having us brothers to go back into this video, because this is a heavy interview of what he was saying. All right. And so the guy's name is Bill Wood. All right. And I'm just going to play it from the 2 hour and 9 minute mark so you can see what he says, alluding to the fact that this is the end of ESAU'S rulership. All right.
Massive volume of information that we should otherwise possess.
Okay, well, that's very, very monumental to be told that from a person in your perspective, who's had your background and your exposure. Is it your understanding that the notion that looking glass has been, that there are various looking glasses around the globe supposedly, that according to Dan Burish were shut down? Is it your understanding they're actually not shut down?
I believe that they're shut down because they are all saying the same thing, and they're completely useless at this point.
Is what you're saying.
Right. It's like the Wicked Witch, looking into the, magic mirror and always getting the same answer. Well, if you were always getting the exact opposite of the answer that you wanted, you'd stop talking to the mirror. And that's essentially what happened with Looking Glass, is not only did they not want people to use it anymore because they knew it was just going to burp out the same thing, but at the same time, they didn't want anybody else to know what it was saying. I'm sure. Because
that they would lose control.
Because that information was a monumental concern when I was in the military about how to prevent this inevitability. Now, at first, I thought it was end of the world. Now I see end of the world as end of their world.
You you see what he just said? Let me take it back. All right. Listen very closely to what he just said.
Was a monumental concern when I was in the military about how to prevent this inevitability. Now, at first I thought it was end of the world. Now I see end of the world as end of their world.
Right. And notice he said end of their world. So first precept that came to mind when he said that. Let's get Psalms, the 55th chapter. And straight to the point, right around the 21st. You know what? No, I actually want to do Psalms. Let me see here. Psalm 64. That's what I want. Let's do Psalm 64 and 8. And it reads, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves, and all that see them shall flee away. And that's exactly what happened. All right. In this, go back over here to my tabs in this video, man. Okay. And you see, this, because, he could be a Edomite as well. We don't know for sure, but I would say that he is. But a lot of these devils are telling on themselves as of lately. And notice he said that when it came to the looking glass, which is one of ESAU'S very high-tech artificial intelligence computer, which tells them the future, basically it was telling them over and over, no matter how many times they tried to look for different outcomes, that their end was inevitable. And that's why he said he came to understood that it wasn't talking about the end of the world, but it was talking about the end of their world, the end of them. All right. So to back that up even further, let's get 2nd Esdras 6. And I'm going to start at verse 7. Then answered I and said, what should be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, for Esau is the end of the world. That's why he said, then he understood that it was the end of their world. You see that? And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So, hey, man, the prophecies are speaking, man. Okay. The prophecies are speaking. All right. And so that takes me back to the point here in the lesson. All right. So now let's go to Psalm 73. All right. We're going to start at verse 12, but the point is at verse 16, verse 17, because see, this is what the brother Yashar read in our lesson. All right. That we did together. All right. Now this is speaking about the wicked. All right. We're going to start at verse 12. It says, behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches. Verily, I have cleansed my heart in vain and washed my hands in innocency. And for all the day long have I been plagued and chastened every morning. All right. That's why we, going through what we're going through. We're suffering for righteous sakes. You know what I mean? We're being chastised. We're going through walking the straight gate in this ministry, making our bodies a living sacrifice. But it goes on to say, if I say I will speak thus, behold, I should offend against the generation of thy children. And that's what the prophets, beginning with the apostles, the bishops, the elders on down. That's what we're experiencing, because we offend our own people, man. And our own people mock and scoff us. They say we're not the Israelites. They say that all people can be saved. All right. So verse 16, it says, when I thought to know this, it was too painful for me. OK, because, see, being in this truth, you're going to go through things and you're going to be tested. The scriptures even tells you in the Apocrypha that wisdom, before she can trust you, she must try you, man. OK. And being in this truth, it's not all glitz and glamour, man. All right. This truth, it will give you a wake up call, man. All right. And there's a lot of things that you have to walk through. All right. To prove yourself, man, to prove your faith, man. That's why the scripture says work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. But notice the very last point, verse 17. Until I went into the sanctuary of the Most High. And what's his sanctuary? It starts with this truth, this knowledge. Then understood I their end. So here we have Asaph, who wrote this psalm, said that when he came into the knowledge of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, he understood the end of the wicked. You see that? And that's powerful because, when we come back to the video, all right, let's take this back some.
Happen.
All right.
The shockwave.
And Salaki, I don't know why it does that, but let me get back to that point. Right there.
This point.
Is what you're saying.
Right. It's like the Wicked Witch, looking into the, magic mirror and always getting the same answer. Well, if you were always getting the exact opposite of the answer that you wanted, you'd stop talking to the mirror. And that's essentially what happened with Looking Glass, is no longer, not only did they not want people to use it anymore because they knew it was just going to burp out the same thing, but at the same time they didn't want anybody else to know what it was saying, I'm sure. Because
That they would lose control.
because that information was a monumental concern when I was in the military about how to prevent this inevitability. Now, at first I thought it was end of the world. Now I see end of the world as end of their world.
Man, and that laugh just says it all, man. But see, he doesn't understand when it talks about end of the world. That's speaking about the whole house of Israel. Sorry, not the whole house of Israel. The whole house of Esau, Edom. All right. The whole house of Esau, Edom. Let's get Job 20. And I want to quickly get verse 5. It says, start at verse 4, actually. It says, knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. All right. And so, see, even though Esau thinks that he's about to establish his new world order, the Lord has other plans, man, because he's going to upset him. All right. And when you go through this, because it speaks about that Esau shall flee from the iron weapon, all right, which is the ICBM missiles. This is Job 20 and 29. It says, this is the portion of the wicked. All right, the wicked man from the Most High, and the heritage appointed unto him by the Most High. So there's no way that you're going to escape. And see, when they start tapping into this technology, whether it be CERN, whether it be their AI, computer systems, whatever the case may be, because even with CERN, they receive the message. Okay. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Let's see here. Elites receive. Let me see here. Yep. Message to the elites from CERN. All right. Let's see if we can pull that up real quick. Let's see what we got here. All right, so they took the video down. Salakia. Right. It says, seems like a CERN scientist stuck his head in the reactor and got bopped with a particle. Now he is getting multi-dimensional messages. They think they reached the Most High. They got one word back, tekel. It says here, I'm just getting straight to the point. So the message from CERN, you have been weighed. All right. And that's pretty much what happened when they were messing with CERN. But let me see if I can get a, let me see here. Let me see if this works. Because there's an actual article and they've been covering up this article. All right. Nah, it's pretty much the same thing. All right. Nah, that's okay, though. But there was an article a few years ago that they received a message, all right, trying to reach the God particle, trying to find out how, we were created. And basically, when they was messing around, all right, the Heavenly Father through his son Yahweh Shai sent them a message that said tekel, which means you have been found weighed, man. All right, so that's spiritual. All right, and showing you, and hey, call Halayim Yahweh Shai, Shai, and it says this is the end, and this is like the man said in the video, this ain't the end of the world per se, because pertaining to Ecclesiastes, the first chapter, the earth abideth forever, but this is the end of their world, their rulership. Okay, so let's get a few more precepts and then we'll close out. All right, this is Numbers 24 and 20. All right. It says, and when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. All right. And now when you go into the phrase latter end, all right.
Strong's H319. Acharith. Acharith.
All right. So it says here, the last or end, hence the future. Also posterity, last, latter, end time, hinder, utter, most length, posterity, remnant, residue, reward. Okay. Outline Biblical says after part, the end. All right. Issue, event, latter end, prophetic for future time. Okay. So this is we at that time right now, man. Hey, the scripture says, measure thou the time diligently within itself. Okay, that's how we know the Edomites are still here today, because this has not taken place yet. You see? So Amalek, which is the chief of the tribe of Edom, which today the Amalekites are the ones that are over there in the Holy Land, okay, pretending to be us when they're not us, right? This is Obadiah 1 and 18 and the Amplified version. It says, then the house of Jacob should be a fire and the house of Joseph a flame, in executing the Most High's wrath, which goes back to what? Ezekiel, the 25th chapter. Okay? Because we're going to receive the elect, that is, those new bodies, okay, extraterrestrials here on the planet Earth, to carry out the wrath and the judgment of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. So it says, but the house of Esau will be like stubble, and they, Jacob, shall set them on fire and consume the Edomites, so that there should be no survivor of the house of Esau, for Yahweh have spoken it. You see? So here it is. We're showing you on one end of the spectrum that the scriptures, this is what the Bible is saying. This is a prophetic future event that's going to happen and take place. And then we showed you the video of Bill Wood telling you that no matter how many times they kept using the looking glass, it kept spitting out the same answer in terms of what their fate is going to be. You understand? All right. So that's what it is, man. This is Isaiah 34 and 5. My sword is satiated with blood in heaven. Indeed, it will come down for judgment on Edom and on the people whom I have doomed for destruction. And the sword of Yahweh is filled with blood from sacrifices. It drips with fat, with the blood of the lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For Yahweh hath a sacrifice in Basra, Edom's capital city, which really that great city is talking about Babylon the Great. Okay, that will be the modern day Basra today, and also wherever else Esau is residing on the planet Earth. And a great slaughter in the land of Edom. Now, one other point I want to make is when you look up the word Edom here, I have a picture screenshot from the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. And the highlighted part says, Edom figures prominently in the prophetic scriptures as the scene of great future judgments. Remember, we read Numbers 24 and 20. All right. Amalek's latter end should be that he perish forever. And we looked up that phrase, latter end. Okay. Which talks about the future prophetic event. Okay. Towards the end. It says, she is the only neighbor of the Israelites who was not given any promise of mercy from the Most High. So to all you dudes out there, all right, and you women who keep coming up against the prophets, talking about some can so-called white people, make it the occasions of call, we like to call them. Let this be your direct answer. And the answer to that question is no. They are the only nation out of the 18 nations in the Bible that has been promised to have no mercy. Okay? This is what the scriptures are saying, man. And your top Edomite scholars, they know of this because they wrote it in here, man. They know what time it is. Okay? So, all right, I got one more here. Let me see here. Okay, we got that already. So now I want to read this chapter one last time. Okay. Let's get into NLT. All right. This is the NLT. It says, verse 12, look at these wicked people enjoying a life of ease while their riches multiply. Do I keep my heart pure for nothing? Did I keep myself innocent for no reason? I get nothing but trouble all day long. Every morning brings me pain, right? Because it seemed like no matter what we do and we try to be righteous and everything, we just catching all type of hell, man. It's like it doesn't let up. But we understand, too, that it's really because of our disobedience by breaking the covenant, man. OK, because the curses is still upon us. Right. But it also says here, if I had really spoken this way to others, I would have been a traitor to your people. So I tried to understand why the wicked prosper. And that's how it was for, not only myself, but many of you other brethren before you came into the truth, man. You always looking at like, man, how do they just get away with so much murder, man? Scriptures talk about that. All right. How they get away with just so much everything. I think that's in this chapter. If I go up. Yeah. Verse 5, it says, they don't have troubles like other people. They're not plagued with problems like everyone else. So no matter what this devil do, okay, they don't get the judgment straight away like we get, as it says in Ecclesiastes, the 8th chapter, that sentence against the evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the hearts of men is set in them ways to pretty much do whatever they want to do, roughly paraphrasing, right? But it says Psalm 73:16. So I tried to understand why the wicked prosper, but what a difficult task it is. Then I went into your sanctuary, O power, and I finally understood the destiny of the wicked. And that's where we at right now. Since we come into this wise counsel, we now understand the latter end of Esau, Edom. All right. So I'm going to end it off on there. And I pray that this lesson was edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim El Shai. And once again, giving all praise, glory, and honor be to Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakaha Kodash, and double honors once again to the beloved elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect, and so on to the next, Lord's will. Shalom.